Hello, hello. We're back again. I hope everyone's having a great day. Have you guys ever talked to a friend about some problem you're having in your life and your approach to solving it, but found that it started off really good where they agreed with your overall goal and what you wanted to accomplish, but once you started to get in the weeds, then it started to get sort of discordant, right? You two weren't as listening as much into each other. You're kind of stepping each other's toes on, no, I should do it this way or versus that way, yada yada yada, and then it seems like you really didn't get the support you sought out for at the beginning. That's what I want to talk about in this video, and that brings me to the point where when you're in those situations, try to keep your eye on the prize, right? And by saying that, I mean try to focus on as many points of commonality as possible. And what I mean by that is when people really get your vision and your goal, try to keep them focused on that. Many times the way to get there is going to be different, right? People are going to have their own biases, their own preferences, their own skills and strengths. So if you start to get really into the sausage making of the how, chances are you're probably not going to see eye to eye, and you might actually get distracted by someone else's method, that which will cause you to lose confidence in your own technique, which can further reduce your momentum, right? And it can also lead you to not feeling as supported, and which is why you probably shared this thing with that person to begin with. So I like to think of this as a situation where you need to step back and realize who's ultimately in the driver's seat here. If it's you, then you don't really need to get too much into the how, because you'll be able to make that call anyway. And it's best not to distract the conversation from aligning on the outcome and the goal, right? Now, this is very applicable to work environments. Sometimes you're talking with someone in a different department and you've got this big organizational goal you both have to meet, and you just want them to work with you on getting towards there. But unless they're on a specific project that and on your team, like them understanding how you're going to get there isn't really that relevant. And in fact, the more you shared with them about your technique, and if they start to scrutinize it, they might lose confidence in your ability to get there because it's not the way they would do it, right? And it might even end up distracting you, and then you might not feel like you got the support that you were looking for. This even comes to things with relatives. So if they see your vision, they understand what you're trying to accomplish long term, many times that's good enough. If you get really into the details and the weeds, you can find that they might end up walking away thinking you don't know what you're doing, but that's probably not the case, right? Because you should trust your own intuition because you know yourself best and what is the most in your wheelhouse. So, the one thing that I've thought is I try to keep it most goal oriented as possible, right? Align on the points of commonality and try to celebrate that so you can have more velocity in coming out of that conversation feeling like, okay, this person gets it, we're good. I can turn to them if something goes wrong down the line because they're still on my page. But in the beginning stages, it's critical that you get the support you need and then follow through with your method while still be open to refinement down the line. I'd love to hear any relevant examples from your guys' end. As always, feel free to share this video and drop your thoughts in the comments below.